Hmm. Welcome to Warrior Class. I have to remove this brand and hold on just 1 second.
Support BPM while you're at it. YouTube members, share, Patreon. All right.
Absolutely.
Hold on. And sorry about that. You all, my wife kept saying this one song, so I said, okay. I said, dear, uh, yeah, okay, yeah, we started at 2, and then I realized, oh my God,
That's class.
Classic.
right? That comes from doing multiple shows.
Yeah.
Um, right now doing 4 shows. Warrior Class, African Spiritual Resistance, Africans playing RPGs, The 100 Truth High, African playing RPGs, Kikanga 2.0, and I'm planning for another one right now to do a solo game with just me doing Grandma's Hand second edition. So doing a lot plus class and all that
It's
kind of
funny you
stuff.
said that. I was just gonna mention that about how like man, it takes a lot to do this. It takes. I was gonna applaud the audience, the people who come in with us. I just want to thank everybody who. There we go, right here. Casey, Eugene, Nelson, everybody who come with us, and rock with us all the time
Right.
because it's not easy to be here. You know what I'm saying? We all got lives. We all have things to do. I know personally, Bob was supposed to be here today. I kind of screwed that up myself, but you know, shout out to everybody. This is some people that I want to shout out. These are my folks right here in my church. Shout out to the folks who had to learn to adjust when things don't go as planned. If you're a plan type person, a routine type person like me, I watch the same way every time, move the same. Like, for a long time, when something happened different in my day, it threw me all the way off and gave me a lot of anxiety. And so shout out to the people who have to deal with that, and still function. You know what I'm saying? Some people have it a lot worse than others, degrees of different types of little issues like that. So especially after since this COVID thing, some of those issues kind of you don't monitor them because you had them in check for so long, and they come back, and some of those issues have came back to for a lot of people. So just wanted to shout that out. Ready for the unexpected. This has become a part of my life, James said. Been missing for too long. I'm cramming to understand. All right. Speaking of that,
Yeah, I was going
quickly,
to say there's a Warrior Class shirt.
I want to show you how we, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So,
Oh my goodness.
we will have this for you to order. We ready for it? What we just trying to figure out is how we're going to set it up. So you guys can order it in the most efficient manner. I was thinking until we get like a website set up, do we have African martial arts PayPal or Harriet Tubman PayPal?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know Harry Tubman's PayPal. That'd be an old PayPal, goddamn.
But
But
we'll set up.
Like the first one.
We'll
yeah,
set up
correct.
we'll set up a PayPal because Cash App just seems kind of funny to people sometimes when they're making
Well,
purchases.
I'm working on the website now, so people can, uh, you know,
That's
look
another
at
thing to
what we
do.
have and order through that automatically.
Wow. See, you wouldn't even think Bob would making a website. See, I can't do that.
Eugene said he needs a 2X.
Let me put a disclaimer out first. So real quick, Eugene, the 2X costs more than the regular ones. It's more material, so I gotta go ahead and tell you that. They go up to small to extra large. The 2X is going to cost you probably like $3 to $5 more. But I want to put out a disclaimer. When you get your Warrior Class shirt and you put this on and you go outside, you will not become Baba. You will not all of a sudden download every African martial arts movement, you know what I'm saying, from the Orisha. It's not going to happen. Ogun is not going to embody you in your encounters.
Oh,
don't go out there and think this is an armor. This is not Teflon.
Make sure you represent.
And if you do get into something with this shirt on, you better not get your ass whipped. Listen to me.
Well, you better make sure anybody filming, they get that film up.
You get that film, you do, hey, you get your ass whipped. You better have no traces of that on social media. We come to get our t-shirt and boy, woman, hey, you put the shirt on, you better chill out. Don't go out there tripping.
And don't liberate nothing with that shirt on either, please.
Do not go rob nobody. Listen.
I know. There's going to be a whole list of things you got to agree to.
Yeah. When you buy the shirt, you got to sign a contract. Yes, you know what I'm saying? We can't have y'all out here.
There was a brother who, in the Nation of Islam, who was robbing people from the Nation of Islam and other folks too, right? And that's terrible. The worst thing is, though, this dude's voice is very, very identifiable. He said, oh yeah, this here, everybody. So he robs this elder sister. Give out the money, you know what I mean? Just give it up. She said, brother, oh shit. And then he runs off. He got caught up.
Play it cool.
He didn't change his voice. He sounded exactly like he sound, but he had a mask on.
So don't let him be like, Eugene, is that Eugene Mason? Right. Don't do that. Don't do that, Eugene. Don't do it. No, Eugene's not gonna do that. We're gonna set this up.
James would probably need a 4X. That's a big brother.
Oh, James, yeah, I hear that. So that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna put these. You can look for the Warrior Class IG page, and we'll have some information on there shortly for you. And they will look exactly like this.
And they look great.
In person, I don't know if you can see them.
It's very vivid.
Yes,
too. Really good shirt. So we're gonna start with this gray.
He said such and such, so I couldn't be there today, so he could rock that motherfucker. Be the first one to rock it. So it's all right.
It's okay, Baba. I got my Uncle Ruckus shirt on.
And see,
we don't all have to have on the Warrior Class shirt.
Right.
We were supposed to. And just see, Baba think
he's still tough. So he got Warrior Class. You got Uncle Ruckus. He brings Ruckus, although it's
and this is Baba's school, high school colors too. It's ironic that just have to be. Yeah. So
those that don't know, I went to Whitney Young High School and Whitney Young Academic Center too before the high school in Chicago.
Okay, and just so y'all know, this is not the only item that we will have. Next week we may have another surprise for you, another item for you, and we'll give you more about that. So I just want to let y'all know. So real quick, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because iManifesto is asking how they order. We're getting that set up. iManifesto. That's what we've been talking about.
Right.
We'll have it for you soon.
Right. We want to just set it up in a way that you can track it and everything, and we just want to keep it on the up and up. I know people prefer PayPal over Cash App, and we don't want to give our personal PayPals out. We just want to do everything on a legit scale, to make everybody feel good. So now, if you just can't wait. They hit me up at it and we make it happen, We make it happen, Captain, But seriously though, just give us a second, we're gonna get right and we're gonna have you're gonna like what we got for you. We got some things coming up. So So another thing real quick, I want to get into y'all. I know we always before we get into what we're talking about today, we're gonna ask y'all to please share and subscribe. But also, real quick, to get active. It's summertime. These right here. I don't know how much these cost, $15, $20 maybe, if that. You want to work out, a good way to sweat. You don't have too much at the house. These don't cost you too much, $15.
We probably need to put a strip of duct tape over that Century, because Century ain't paying us a damn dime.
I wish I'd have thought of that before I just went live. I would have sure put some black tape over that. It does not matter which ones you get. until somebody sponsors, then it's gonna matter. But
right, exactly.
These help you in a lot of ways. First of all, just moving, throwing punches. He's gonna work you out, but also throwing punches. How often do you throw punches? We post a lot of videos of people swinging and missing each other all the time. This is an important drill, important part of training.
A great workout. Me and several of my higher ranking students used to get together when I was still in Chicago. Down here, folks just ain't doing it. Folks just ain't doing it, unfortunately. But
See, I ain't gonna do this.
When I was in Chicago, we would meet 6 a.m.
Ooh,
and we would do 10,000 punches. 10,000 punches and then work out. It used to be, well, when I first came here, I was like, before I teach you a technique, you got to do 10,000 punches. And students like, man, that's impossible. And after they've done the 10,000 punches, they understand that what you think is impossible is not impossible. It's just your level of thinking is low, right? So you can do 10,000 punches in 30 minutes. We used to do it every day. And it got to the point we were like, man, let's just, add some weight to it, So they were still hitting the bag, like the kick bag, but, and we had it on a wall with several of them. And I had this canvas bag, and it has 3 like bags, part of it. So I had steel ball bearings, sand, and beans. Whoa. And so then I would work those to just work my fists, right? And put duct tape if you're going to be doing 10,000 punches on canvas, otherwise it'll eat your skin up. So I put duct tape on them and just, pounding away at it, right? So we had got so cut up. This is not touching weights. Well, my student Khalil, I mean, he lived professionally, so he was, but we were getting so defined from doing that every day. But, I had to talk to the students because I wish I'd go out here. Somebody would. I F them up.
Too much testosterone.
All that, right. And I was like, nah, you don't wish for violence. We'll find you, especially where we live, in Chicago. But
I just want you to know, Baba, I got to do 10,000 punches tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, you can't play. Like, he said that on purpose. He did that on purpose, y'all. If y'all don't know,
you'll get them done in 30 minutes. But I would
do 1,000 punches at 10 a.m.
I would approach students here, and we could do it later, and folks be like, nah, because at the test we do 7,000 punches, and they're like, it's hard enough.
Oh, but
you doing that every day. At first it's difficult, but after a week, you rolling.
And that's what anything, it feels like that for me. You got to push through it. I'll be up at 6 doing 10,000 punches tomorrow. Probably challenge me. So these mitts you can really work. Even the person padding you really gets a workout with these. And you can watch, it's plenty YouTube, it's plenty padding videos you can watch the pad, and it's a really good workout. The other thing that a lot of people can do that we don't do anymore is ride bikes. Riding a bike. If you have issues with walking long distance, it's really good for your legs, your back, your lower back. It's really good cardio, and especially for men who need testosterone as you get older. You get a lot of people, you can ask weightlifters, I'm sure 40J Blaze maybe tested this. A lot of weightlifters, what they do, they go to the gym and they leg press before they do anything, and then they go to upper body, because leg pressing, using your biggest muscles, releases testosterone through your body. And then they utilize that by focusing on the upper body, and that testosterone goes there, and that's how they get bigger.
Also, riding a bike, it strengthens your prostate for brothers that have.
My father had prostate issues. Thank you, Bob. I didn't.
If you got prostate issues, period, you should be working out.
Definitely.
Especially your lower body.
And
prostate, it hits us, prostate issues. So it causes incontinence, erectile issues. You don't want to be dealing with that ever in your life, no matter how old you are.
Right.
And it's not something that you have to deal with. We tend to think a lot of stuff happens as you get older, and that's not. It's with the lack of care and knowledge of how to deal with stuff. So get your bike, man. Don't cost you nothing. Ride around your neighborhood. It's kind of fun, especially if you used to do it as a kid. It's fun. It don't feel the same. Let me tell you, I've been riding. I've got my bike back, and boy, my back and stuff. I almost had a spasm last night. But as you do it more, you feel better. So
my father bought my 10-speed from me. Man, dude, let me get he was I think 70 at the time. Let me get your 10-speed, because I wasn't riding the 10-speed at that point. I said, what you gonna do with the 10-speed? He said, I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna ride it. All right, Dad. He was doing like 36 miles a day.
Wow.
Why do your family got to be like that?
It's him. Not the whole family.
He just said he did 2,000 bucks every time. Oh no, it's him. This is him.
In the morning.
Get out of here, man. Dang. Make us feel bad. Now I got to.
Black Tempo is asking about a rowing machine.
Oh man.
Hell yeah.
Woo.
So I was at the gym using the rowing machine. Fell in love with it.
Oh my goodness. Rowing machine are.
This machine, you can pull it to yourself. How is it? It's like it can either work your chest or it can work your back.
Yeah, that rowing.
How you sitting in it.
And the full body with the legs too. They got that kind of.
That's the one. Yeah, me likes to use that one.
Oh my gracious!
I've never used one.
My back just started hurting. Let me tell you. There's no joke. They are no joke. And I need to do that too. Beautiful. I roll all the time. Okay, Mr. G. That's
cool. That's awesome.
Okay.
I mean, I apologize.
That bike's expensive than a mug. Yeah. Now they can be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They can go.
One thing, bikes can be really expensive.
But that's up to you. You decide. A T-shirt can be $10, $5, or $150.
Yeah, and now I don't know if all gyms do this, but like the recreation center where we work out at, you can rent bikes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I think you rent them for like $1. And
that was gonna be my idea with the rest of them.
If you're from Clayton County, you can rent them for $1. I think if you're out of county, it's $3.
Oh, right, because they got them little bikes. The city got those bikes too.
The city does, and
yeah. I had the idea for anybody when I had Waterfront Eatery. I was gonna rent out bikes to ride around the lake.
Oh man, great idea.
But yeah, get your bike, man, and like you said, you don't have to spend that much. $100. $50, go to the pawn shop, get a bike. Right. Like it ain't like it's got to be. What are you trying to do besides just ride around and go to a nature trail?
Facebook Marketplace, different places where
I'm a Facebook Marketplace pro. She's a Facebook Marketplace pro. I don't like promote, but you get good deals.
My wife used to go to a bike trail, and I wish she was available right now. I think they used to rent their bikes too when they would go. My wife, my sister-in-law, Tayiniwa, and Yemi, they would take Yemi along, and I think they would take, I think they took Yemi's bike with them, but they would ride.
So James said, but there is no replacement for muscle building and strength training.
Great, needed, but it doesn't build muscle. Muscle preserve life, reverse all causes mortality. True. Now, if you don't know, James is, I don't want to call you a bodybuilder. That's less than what you do. But James lifts weight, heavy weight. Right.
He's pretty much like me, y'all.
Yeah, you put 4 relays together. You got
and James is just
but he's right. You have to touch metal, especially when you pass 40 years old. Bob talks about that all the time.
Yeah, Bob.
You have to do some type of weight training. You have to do some type of weight training if you don't want your muscles to deteriorate, because they will do that if you don't touch some type of push pull.
Man, this brother who was used to be a a teacher of mine. He decided to go to a gym with another friend of mine at the time, and that friend he's a physical fitness trainer or whatever, weight trainer. And I watched, it's my fault, kind of discouraged the brother, but he was lifting weights. He was 8 pounds. But he weighed like, he was heavier than me, at that time I was only probably 170 or something like that. He was like 210 and was struggling so bad with 8 pounds. Now, if he had a physical ailment, I wouldn't have laughed. I was crying in the gym, laughing. They came to the same gym as me. I said, oh, hey. So we talking. And he was like, I'll talk with you later. I got to get this workout in. So I'm thinking he going to throw down. He grabs those little 8-pound weights. Screaming. I was crying. If you're going to scream and clown like that,
that's another
weight than 8 pounds, y'all.
Seriously, too. And this is another thing.
What?
I seen people when I used to go to the gym all the time for years. I seen people that came to the gym every day and never got any results. And the reason is they didn't know what they was doing and they never asked nobody. They just did. They just, do that. The machine you sit on and you just press out like this. Mm-hmm. People that don't know what they do, everybody go to that machine and just do like this while they look around.
Now I ended up hospitalized because not just you don't get gains, you can get sick. Went to the YMCA, right, with the Young Men's Christian Association, whatever the hell it is. They have a gym and they have these YMCA fitness trainers. And they were telling me, lift fast, lower it slow. Lift fast, lower it slow. And a friend of mine, I said, well, a friend of mine told me don't go beyond my elbows, don't go past my lats. And, saying, no. Bring it all the way down, then push out fast, slow. And so I was doing that. Then I started getting like the flu. I'm like, man, I got the flu bad. Let me go to the hospital. I mean, it was really bad where I couldn't hardly get up and walk. So y'all was going to help me, get to the hospital. And they said you're releasing some kind of enzymes. It's showing your blood is showing you have at that time I was shit. I need her in here because I can't fully remember. I think I was 40 at the time. It showed I had the body of a 50-year-old man. I'm like, what the hell? I work out every day and so. And there was one doctor that said, you work out. Show me how you, he was, in shape. Show me how you working out. So I was showing him. He said, no.
Right. You don't
never explode and that slow. He said, that's archaic. He said, you keep it smooth. And, it's pretty much like Khalil, the brother who showed me how to lift, was telling me, you keep it smooth and balanced. He said, you're releasing these enzymes. I forget what he called the enzymes, and it's killing
you. Yeah. People don't understand it's a difference from those the weightlifting muscles. I don't know what they call them, your fast twitch muscles. So that's not the same thing. You can explode you can do push-ups and explode fast and slap and everybody do all that kind of shit when you do push-ups. You can do that when you're doing push-ups. You can't jerk that weight.
I meant to say, why did you do them like that, Baba? I always clown. Always. I'm always clowning, right? And I'm usually careful not to hurt folks' feelings. I didn't think it hurt his feelings, but he stopped working out after that. He didn't say it was causing me, but I felt guilty because I'm in there crying, laughing. And then I was laughing so hard, it started making his trainer laugh. Right? Because I was like, if he was lifting and struggling with 8 pounds, first I'd be concerned. 8 pounds. But doing all that hollering like he lifting 200 pounds or something, I was crying. He was acting a fool. And so I ended up acting a fool. Cracking up. I had to put my waist down because I'm falling all off the bench and shit, laughing. And that's the last time I ever saw him at that gym. He may have went to another gym. I ain't going to the gym where Balogun's at, but yeah.
Use what you got, folks. This is the moral of the story. I'm saying why you can do it. If you can run now, you might want to go around the back somewhere and do a little running while you still can. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say. I wasn't sure how the conversation started, but that's something that I've been doing. Is just utilizing like the hills around my house. If you have like a steep driveway, you know, that's a good tool that you can use. Go up and down, time yourself. You know, you can use it for a HIIT workout. You can just walk for 1.5 minutes and then run straight up for 30 seconds and do that like about 8-10 times. That's a really good workout.
You know, the biggest thing about people working out outside at home is not wanting to be seen.
Right.
It's the biggest thing about working out for people. At the gym is that way. They go places where people don't know them, but at home is really hard for people because they don't want their neighbors seeing them and stuff. So you got to get up. And the funny thing about that kind of stuff, I see all these things different now. These are lessons for you to get to overcome.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like overcome your own ego, overcome your self-doubt. You know what I'm saying?
Or you're caring so much what your neighbor thinks
about people. As you get
utter bullspit says, "What a dumbass subject." I don't know what subject you're talking about.
I don't even see him.
Yeah, utter bullspit is up there, but
it's great that I don't see those. I guess because you got the main
computer. Yeah, but you know.
Hey man. There you go. What a dumbass.
So for me, you know, some people are always going to be put in place to throw things off.
Right.
Okay. In life.
We just talked about it.
Exactly.
And it might not be a person. It might be a
caring
thing.
About so much about your neighbor.
Watch yourselves on that. Now, 80-year-old woman I know just taught herself how to swim. That's dope.
Now that's dope.
And we should all know how to swim.
Lord, that is so
one of the things I'm going to do is actually do a swimmer survival class, because I learned a lot of people with me that are in the Urban Survival and Preparedness Institute cannot swim, and that is unacceptable. If we're traveling and the only way we can get from point A to point B is to swim, and everybody can't swim, we're screwed. Now, what could a trip that could have taken us 10 minutes could now take us hours. We have to circumvent that water. So those are things we need to learn. You know,
just the kind of stuff you have to think about.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Anyway, I have some news. One thing, just found out in Ohio, I'm trying to remember, I think Cleveland. In 2 weeks, 30 children disappeared.
Yes.
Keep your head on a swivel, stay chiseled, because it's not safe out here, especially for our babies. 30 children in 2 weeks. There are law enforcement folks saying they've never seen nothing like this. That's a lot in 2 weeks.
That just lets you know how lax people are. And
that's more than, what's the thing, Atlanta child murders?
Right.
That's more. And in a shorter time, 30 missing. Usually when a person's missing, if you haven't found them within 24 hours, the likelihood of them being alive is very, very, very slim.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't mean to be insulting when I talk about people being lax. It's just that when you are going through your daily life, just like this show that we just had, and you're not on high alert at any time, you're not noticing your surroundings ever. Someone who is methodical, who just watches.
When I say white, I mean the color code.
Right. And someone who's just methodical and watches knows exactly which times to pick. Okay, this child is going to be alone for at least 10 minutes, you know, or this, like, they know when to jump in and do little things. And, you know, I mean, it's a horrible thought.
You are exactly right. I'm going to tell you something else too. What we have to acknowledge, and this is about the ego. A lot of parents, like, we feel like we got it. We don't want to take any advice a lot of times. And the number one thing, always, if you don't know something, it doesn't exist. So a good way to a parenting thing I always think about is when we had the workshop, and so many parents didn't realize that they've been talking, haven't been clear with their message to their children, but they think they have been. Don't talk to strangers. Right. Don't talk to strangers. But then they force their child to talk to every stranger that they know, but the child don't know, which is a stranger to that child.
And also, or stranger they don't know. Walking down the street, police officer that says hi, and the child just walking by because you said don't talk to strangers, and you speak to the officer.
Right.
Right.
First of all, F the officer. But, you know, so we got to be clear with our children. Don't speak to anybody I don't give you permission to speak to. You know, if I say don't speak to, if I'm not with you, you don't speak to strangers, go with them or whatever, except there's an emergency and you need some help. Now, is there a risk? Sure, but
it's an emergency.
Let the child be by themselves.
Right.
So if you let the child be by themselves, they have to be able to maneuver and talk to people. So you can say, talk to these people, stay away from these people.
Right.
Tell them it's very difficult because what does a murderer look like? What does a rapist look like? What does an abductor look like?
Right.
They can look like anybody. So the risk is going to be there. This is why constant training is important, but your message to your children has to be clear, right?
Right. And you have to, I just want to say too, you got to engage them like Baba do with us. Engage your children. He do the same thing with children. He give you scenarios, and you got to give your children. So that's how you figure out how they thinking.
Right.
Give them scenarios. Let's say a guy come up at the bus stop and blah blah blah. Find out how they're going to move, and then you correct. Hey, no, you never. We don't. Do we do that with our children?
Or even jump in with, like you said, give them scenarios, but also when situations happen, and you know you see the wrong thing happen, make sure that you're actively pointing out to them what's going on. I had a situation actually where I live this week where my son was on his online school. I was actually napping on the couch, and someone came to the front door, and one of the people who lives with me opened the door. I'm like, who is that at the door? You know, and they told the person some story about who they were. They were coming to, I don't know, cut the grass or paint something or something like that. And she says, hold on, and just kind of leaves them at the door, leaves the door cracked open a little bit, and goes to get on the phone. And I said, who is that? I had my son get up from school and go and lock the door. I don't care if it hurts their feelings. Like, we don't know you. Why are we leaving the door cracked open? You know, and that's really all that is just being social, being polite. I don't want to close the door in this person's face and lock it, even though I don't know them. You know? So I made sure that I pointed out to
I don't want them to think I'm this. I don't want to look like I'm this.
I made sure to point out to my son everything that happened in that situation that was not correct and that we should never do. And that's definitely something that I would suggest for everyone.
Now, I'm telling you, James said, man, that's the scariest feeling in the world, to lose a child. My youngest daughter was on the bus. We found her on another block with a friend's daughter.
Yes.
I've had that happen a couple times recently. My 14-year-old, I meet her every day when she gets off the bus. So I'm standing there, bus goes by. I'm like, the hell? She didn't get off the bus. What's going on? So I said, maybe it went past. I just wait for her to walk up. No. Same time, some folks come across the street trying to sell me, fiber. I said, I can't talk to you right now. Stuff is going on. So I'm worried as hell. I called my wife. I said, Yemi wasn't on the bus. She's like, oh my God. And she had gotten in trouble, so we had taken her phone. And that was a lesson for me. They get in trouble, take anything else, but they got to be able to communicate with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't call her, see what's going on. So I called my wife. She said, oh my God. So she leaves her shop. She said, I'm going to, up to the school to see if she's there. And she had, I guess, talking with friends or whatever. She had missed the bus and couldn't communicate with us. So now I think my wife had told her that they're going to be riding it. She's going to be picking her up, but my wife may change plans. But she hadn't gotten the message for that really. She had told her, but I guess my daughter forgot, and my wife wasn't able to call her to verify.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, damn. So she drove to the school and she was there waiting for my wife to pick her up. Thank God.
Man.
Yeah,
my heart, I'm like, oh my God, right? Mm-hmm. Another time, school bus, my daughter, Yetunde, was going to this school. We were excited. It's a school for the gifted. All these great things about the school. Gets on the bus. The bus driver is confused. Takes everybody on there to the wrong place. Wrong stops. There's some stop they used to drive or something. I'm like, what the heck? So, so my ex-wife calls me, tells me, Yetunde didn't get off the bus. So I'm driving around, looking. I say, get back to the school, find out what's happening. I'm gonna look for her on the route that she's supposed to be on. It's crazy. I'm worried, but I'm driving, looking, and she calls me and says, the principal said they're at a different place. They're coming back now and everything. I said, ask the principal, why did that person go so-and-so? She said, well, they said they come. I said, ask him why did the person go there? Because I want to see something. And they give some story. It wasn't important what they said. They said that they did this because so-and-so, that means that principal knew that this had happened, but didn't call nobody, right? So she said, she called me back. He said, so-and-so. I said, he knew that this bus went to the wrong place, wasn't going to call nobody. He's going to just have them come back, send them out, and then say the bus was late or something. So my ex-wife confronted him, and hemming and hawing, this and that, I said, I'm coming up to the school tomorrow. I talked to the dude. He was lying, saying, he didn't know that this had happened. He found out, later, and my ex-wife had made it up there before he could call people. I talked to other parents. None of them knew. I made sure everybody knew. And I took my daughter out of that school, put her in another school. Put her in this Magnus program, but she couldn't be in that school. And if I knew the name of the school, I don't remember the name of the school anymore. I would tell you. You got to be really careful, when your children go from point A to B, you should know.
Yeah, boom.
You want to independent, but they're still children. My son, I think I've said before, I used to say, all right, son, see you later. When he walk out, going to school, I sneak out and watch him. walked to the bus stop when he was in middle school. I he didn't know I was watching until one day police officers were going to abduct him. That's why be careful, don't talk to officer friendly. Ain't no goddamn officer friendly. Right?
Wow,
I see them talking to him. And they said, come on, like get in the car. Yeah, pointing back to the back. And so I did like so-and-so, so-and-so. So I see the officer, getting upset. I said, you okay, Ade? Like that. And they kind of look out the window. Then they drive off. So I run up there. I said, Ade, what was happening? He said, they was telling me they'll take me to school. I don't have to wait on the bus, get in the car.
Oh, boy.
Like, my daddy taught me don't get in the car with nobody. He said, we the police. He said, I know who you are. But officer, my dad told me don't get in the car with nobody.
Right, y'all part of that.
And he said, they would get in the car. And so when I went up there, like, what's going on? Like, you okay? They drove off. I said, all right, son. So I waited with him at the bus stop. He gets on the bus. Here come these cops. Same cops come around the corner after I didn't get on the bus. And they just slowly mean mugging me, hoping to find a reason to do something to me because I stopped their abduction. Shit, you're getting $40,000 for a child or more if you take their organs or what have you, right? I stepped in and interfered with their money, bastards. And they looking for a reason to do something to me. And I guess they read my energy like it's too expensive to do something to me, and I protected my child. That's an expensive endeavor. Right. You think you're gonna do something to me, and I protected my son, and you're gonna try to trump up some shit and do some bullshit? That's expensive for you, officer.
Yeah,
you're paying an expensive price. I may die, but you gonna die. That's the difference. If you're trying to take me, and because now it's injustice too. And I know exactly what you were trying to do. He just told me, oh my God, I don't care what you are or who you are. You're paying a big price, right? Yeah. You got to be willing to protect our children. I don't give a fuck what somebody's title is, man. Otherwise, they're going to keep their foot on our neck. Don't let nobody goddamn take your child, abuse your child. I've seen police beat their child unconscious while they standing talking. You ain't right, cop. You ain't right, pig. He crying and shit. But he's beating the shit out your child. Now, I'm not telling everybody to do, but if you're trained,
resist responsibly. That's what I say.
And watch your child get possibly murdered, and you don't do something. What are you here for? You're here for the protection of your children, God damn it.
That's the realest shit you can say right now. What are you here for? I'm like, oh. Well, but good point. You do you can get tracking for your child's phone. Everybody should have that. So you can locate your child's phone if they're missing or their phone. They do got portable GPS devices if your for younger children who you may not want to give a phone to yet. In Europe and a lot of countries, you can't get a child a phone till they're 12 or 13 in some countries because of the harmful effects of holding this thing to your head all the time. Which nobody cares.
James said, we didn't have phones, no rescue plans. It was an adventure when we left the house. Yes,
it was different back then.
We used to have.
We still had a password. We had what you could have. We
had this thing. It would be an adventure. We were like, man, you heard about the raper man, and some of the stuff, children making up because it's exciting to them.
Right.
Raper man got a van, a green van, throw us in the, throw children in the van. So you see the green van, it's a raper man. We running.
Everybody run, yeah.
Like that, like that's exciting.
And you had different principles. You had to be home by the time the street lights came on.
And you walk with other students. You didn't walk by yourself.
That's what I was about to say.
And the biggest thing, anybody within a 10-mile radius that saw me knew who child I was.
That
and was able to tell on me.
Number one, Yeah, everybody knew their neighbors. It's sad. I can't tell you people on either side of me's name.
I only know the people on both sides of me. Nobody else. And I've been here. I don't even want to say that. It's sad. It's sad. You're right. Because we implants now. It's not the same. Right. Nobody's with their family. One thing I applaud about, I can't say this about other folks that I don't know, but being here and in the country, you see a lot. I saw this cutting trees. Folks will have 3 or 4 houses on an acre. And I used to be like, why are they doing that? But that's their family. Right. All staying in a little, like, you see a gate, you go in there and it's like 3 little houses. The electricity, you got wires coming from all this, it's kind of, it look a little crazy. It look a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? Right. And I was judgmental back then. But now when I look at that was as close to, you know what I'm saying?
I was driving to Athens. Freedom. Yeah, I was driving to Athens yesterday, and I actually noticed the exact same thing. Big, like a sign for a business, like a paving business or something like that. And you can see down the road, you can see their houses, and then in the back of the property, you can see the business where they have, all the different machines and stuff that they use, but they also living on the property. They also got other, family members presumably living on the property. Like that's really a great way of doing things. You have yourself a little compound there and you can do what you need to do.
Yeah, and that's the biggest difference. And that's why now you have to be a lot more careful because we don't have the checks and balances in the community that we once had. Mm-hmm. So it makes now communicating with your child one-on-one way more important. Because Miss Lottie ain't about to come and say, let me tell you what I seen your son doing today. Right. She's going to look out the window and then call the police. That's all they doing now. So it's a whole different thing and a whole different game.
And a lot of that comes from us being so disconnected from, the things that we've talked about this on the show before, being disconnected from our young people, looking down on them, talking down on everything they like, their music, their clothes. It may be different than what you like, just like everything that we like when we were growing up was different from what our parents like, but they're still people. We're looking at them and placing them outside of ourselves, and when we do that, that causes a breakdown with our community.
Now, that hurt my feelings when I see people on Facebook or hear people in person, my generation sounding like the last generation that was talking shit to me when I was a kid, because I remember how it felt. I remember how the feeling of adults looking at me and saying, you are the worst type of person. Right. Like they felt it, and they looked at me with that, and I see it in us now. We like these, you know what I'm saying? It's like
there's no good music made after
all of that.
I
hate hearing all of that. It sounds just like our parents used to sound, even worse. Because my mama just ain't say that.
Right.
That's all. My mama just ain't say that to the music. She just look at me and look at the music, just ain't say that. But you know what I mean? It's crazy, and they feel that, and that's another reason too. Really, is a lot of fear. Real quick, I just want to say before we get into it, because I know I wanted to mention this earlier. Y'all know we have subject topics, but this is a podcast where, you know how podcasts roll. We talk about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just in case somebody's there like, God damn, when the hell is they gonna stand? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it ain't for you to live. I don't know, but we're gonna talk about a lot of things. It's all gonna connect because it's all about us and protection and safety, and defending yourself and being aware, self-awareness. That's our main topic. I just want to, let folks know. Well, the music part is real. No, Eugene, the music part is not real. It's not Eugene.
Eugene, find you some younger friends and let them recommend some music. There's some great music out here.
Balogun says the worst rapists work inside the schools.
Yeah, indeed.
Right?
Not work
school. Not this one, but
that's present. Now, not just academic schools, martial arts schools, anywhere where children gather, that is fairly common, if you will. But it can happen anywhere, right? Yeah, with us, I watch what goes on the floor. If I see crazy, it's out. I'm going to either call it out, tease it, but if I see rape energy, that's out of there. So, like when sisters come to us, I better not see a dude doing something funny because, you know, we're very hands-on. I bust them up with no problem.
Yeah.
And I don't care how long it be. I had a student, my wife wrestling with this 15-year-old boy. And she catches him in a triangle choke with your legs around their neck. And he's getting turned on by it, so he bites my wife. She said, he's biting me. He's biting me. I said, well, choke his goddamn ass out. You know, she did, yes. Excuse me, y'all. So I said, choke his ass out. She choked his ass out. Yeah, he's 15, but shit, he's biting my wife.
You 15 years old, you know you biting a woman.
Right. So his ass, he went to sleep too. So now if it had been a man, I'd been like, okay, y'all break apart, and I'd have beat the brakes off of them as soon as they got up. So, but it was a boy, so I go, choke his ass out. Then she put him to sleep. His parents right there, put him over there by his parents. Had a talk with him later because also wrestling with another sister, her breast, and he had issues, it was obvious. Her breast touched his face, and he had an orgasm right there.
Wow.
So me being me though, I said, God damn boy, you're coming in front of everybody, ain't you? Right. So
wow.
I know me. So he shaking. I said, get this boy up out of here. And so the sister's like, what happened? You know. I said, he got some issues. We gotta, you know, talk to his father, but you know, certain things that happened to him. You know,
most definitely.
Basically, he had a boner. Yeah, more than that. I remember Papa is the worst. Hey, it's just, you know, you got to handle it. Otherwise, everybody will be just freaked. So I said, let me bring a little, you know, it's not fun, but let me, you know, do a little
levity.
If right. I didn't want to really use levity because it you know, people really freaked out by that.
Yeah, that's true. That's weird.
One of the things I'm glad I missed.
But people were cracking up when I, you know, said what I said. And he said on the floor. Because she had mounted him, you know, caught him in the mount.
Oh no.
And had him in the brush lock, so you know you get low.
Right.
And this boy had lost his goddamn mind. And so he could not train with us no more.
Hell no.
Somebody said, Pop goes the weasel.
But we gotta be careful. We laughing, but we have to be careful. That's why we don't pair young men and women together in class.
I mean, my own son, he ain't done no crazy shit like that. But one of the students, Boomy, used to come by the house, right? They have it, you know, his shirt. He may have a shirt on, a cardigan, you know, his jeans. So we come to the house. Next thing I know, they ain't got no shirt on. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Go upstairs. What are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
So you know, my son was, you know, a trip. And I would just say, I say, Boomy, I'm gonna call down Ade downstairs, say hello. Let's time how long his shirt stay on. So I said, Ade, Boomy here. She come downstairs. He said, hey, Boomy, hey. I said, okay, let's give it a minute. He come downstairs. Now I gotta give me some juice. Now his shirt gone. I said, I'll bring you the juice, boy. Go on upstairs.
Did he normally announce when he had to get juice?
Never.
When my older brother would bring girls over, I'd go in the bathroom and tighten my hands up like this as hard as I could and just squeeze like this. See if I can get some veins to come up my arms or something. I ain't have no muscles.
I can guarantee you Ade's probably up there before he came down doing push-up.
Oh yeah, he doing all that.
You know, I got to get me some juice. Now he got a deep voice anyway, but now it's goddamn 2 octaves lower. I said, son, you like Boomy. Boomy is 10 years older than you. So even if she was single, that was a no. That's a no-go, my brother.
Yeah, that would be.
But he's always he's supposed to be watching my books. He's 13, following a 20. I guess that 10-year-old thing you like. He following a 23-year-old around.
You're trying to flex that chicken chest.
He didn't sell none of my books, you know. So, you know, people say, oh, he must have got it from somewhere. I said, yeah, from my daddy. My daddy. Because they ain't like me. I stay on point with my mission. Shit. I got a mission. Ain't nothing take me off that mission like that, you know. At least I ain't ran into nobody that stunning, you know. All right, so as he came back with baby oil for that second glass, exactly. I did another glass of juice. Why y'all horny, boy? Oh my God! And I didn't find him, but it was good. He got his Instagram. He got an Instagram. He taking a picture like this with no shirt on, right? And almost all the students ripped into him.
Yep, I sure was like, boy,
that was so funny.
Everybody, girl, put your shirt.
Right, Papa G was like, "Excuse me, sir, put your shirt."
That's why, but that's the good part about having a tribe, man. You know what I'm saying? Checks and balances, baby. Checks and balances. Right. So
if you're out there by yourself, you may not even see your child on there on the thing, right? But everybody caught it. In fact, somebody else has said, "Put your shirt on our day," and that made me look. And so y'all are gonna say, "Oh my God, this boy!" I said, "Let everybody else handle him, so people can see community at work."
Exactly. I want to say one last.
He took it off Instagram, put another, photo on there with his shirt on. So hey.
I want to say one last thing too about just self-awareness and stuff like that. Sometimes I was trying to figure out how I want to say this. Sometimes maybe like we're saying, being by yourself for children, it can apply for you as an adult as well. Don't think because you're an adult. I know some people get into a thing where they go everywhere by themselves. They get used to going out to eat by themselves, they go to the movies by themselves. And sometimes when you're single, it might feel like you're forced to do that. But you don't. Sometimes you just like big events, like public events. It's one thing to go to the movies, but say it's I don't know, some type of event where a lot of people maybe
outdoor concerts.
Yeah, those type of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may, safety purposes, you may have to miss out on certain things. And that's not the worst thing in the world. I know we all want to do stuff. There's an event today that I really want to go to. And that's what made me think about it. But the point person that's giving me the tickets, he's actually not going to be there. So I would be there by myself. I would know of some of the people, but I'd basically be there by myself. That don't work for me. You know what I'm saying? I say, I appreciate it. I'll wait till the next time when you're around because I know how to take care of myself. I'm not afraid to be out by myself, but it's just at this day and time, in this climate, I feel like it's just not the most responsible thing for me to do. Especially now, people know me a little bit more from different things. Public is crazy. You just never know what's going to happen out there. I can't control other people, what's going on, how they might be moving, something happening in public. And so I just choose not to go.
I was going to, had I been, I was going to mention, I was at the grocery store the other day and a white dude walks by and said, "Water class." And that concerned me. That concerned me. It wasn't none of our white comrades we see on here either. So that concerned me.
Might have been this dude in here popping off. That might have been him.
It might have been. I said, so I'm watching. I told my wife, okay, we're gonna make this grocery shopping short
And I know, and that's it. I feel like, yo, you just never know when, especially you got your face on here. People,
I mean, you know, and I'm not afraid. I can handle myself, and I was equipped to handle myself. But you know, we know Balogun got set up by some white supremacists in the store. You know, they picking at him. They want him to fight. He's stepping towards the dude, and he sees white folks and, you know, other white skinhead looking dudes in different aisles.
Right.
They were waiting. Like, this nigga gonna do so and so, we gonna jump him.
We found a big motherfucker that we gonna fuck up.
Right, exactly. So, you know, stay chiseled out here, but we're gonna get to it.
Yes, sir.
This is white special ops captain says he can beat any black person and explains why. White special. Now, why is it important? White special ops captain, because he says he can beat any black person, and he explains why. Right.
Just so y'all know, this ain't made up. This ain't.
No. This is real. This
happened. This happened. It is a made up scenario, y'all.
So he told me. Now I'm special ops too, special forces. He's a Marine Raider. No. Yeah, he was a Marine Raider. So you got Marine Force Recon, you got Marine Raiders. Those are their special ops folks. And you know, in shape, this and that. And we were talking, he's a martial arts, we were talking martial arts, and it got down to, I don't know how we got into it, but he said, you know, I feel I can beat, not Phil, he was convinced, I can beat any black person. I said, so you saying you want to spar with me? Well, yeah, any black person, I can beat any of them. I said, okay, and why is that? Because you know, you're Nordic white dude, and you, nah, it's not that. It's because you all are more concerned with looking cool than actually winning a violent encounter. Now, winning to us, and his idea of winning, just beating the shit out of somebody. Winning to us is surviving or escaping. But he didn't know that. But if we're gonna spar, well, shit. Okay, sparring is different. That's what sparring is not. Or what you see in the MMA, that's a form of sparring. Is beyond sparring, fighting, but it's an agreement, because all fights are an agreement. It's an agreement to fight during that time in that ring, right? That's not combat, because the idea of winning in MMA is to knock a person out or make them submit. Right. The idea for us, we're talking about African traditional martial arts, is to survive or escape an encounter. Okay. That includes combat. Overarching, you want to defeat your opponent. Okay. But what I always tell people, what does surviving or escaping look like? It involves us hurting our opponent. If they were trying to hurt us, or not being there, or sometimes I may run away, I escape, right? Sometimes it doesn't involve hurting them. You got an active shooter coming into your area, you better not be trying to, you know, hit him with a karate kick in the elbow unless absolutely necessary. You better be trying to run, hide, maneuver, blockade areas, things of that nature, right? So anyway, I say, well, what do you mean? He said, because you all are more concerned with looking cool, and we're going to deal with that. It's a big thing what that is, than winning. You all trained to not lose. He said, but we, white folks, trained to win. I said, okay. Well, he said, you know, I said, you're saying you want to throw some hands with me? Let's do it. He said, okay, let's do it. You know, and he is convinced I'm gonna be up there trying to look cool and stuff. I beat the brakes off of him. And I beat the brakes off of him with ease. It wasn't even nothing that was because he had underestimated me and thought I was gonna be up there trying to look cool. Hit me right here. He gonna knock me out. That I'm going just head hunting because if I bust his nose and he bleeding, that's cool. That's I asked a question: a bloody nose that you can see, is that more effective than a ruptured liver that you can't see?
In school, yes.
I don't care what it looks like.
And that's the thing. That used to be the biggest thing. It used to be like when you get in a fight, you go and you talk to your homeboy, you tell them about the fight, say, what the other dude look like? Right. What do the other dude look like? Oh, he look worse than me. I'm bleeding internally.
That you see on TV, they be like, somebody got their ass whooped, they looking, black eye. Wait, you see the other guy. Well, if I tell you I got a black eye, say, wait, you see the other guy, you see the other guy, you like, you ain't do shit to him. Yeah, ask him how his insides feel because he's on his way to the hospital.
Right. You can't see it. He got stitches.
He got, broken bones. His rib, one rib is puncturing his lung. You don't want to be head hunting to bust his nose or bust his lip. This is the hardest bone in the body. It's ridiculous. So anyway, so after defeating him, I thought about it. I looked at that shit and I was like, for the most part, he was accurate. According to psychologists, winning's probably the single most important thing in shaping people's lives. Winning increases testosterone, which in turn increases the chemical messenger dopamine. And that dopamine hits the reward network in the brain, which makes us feel better. So winning feels good. However you define winning, right? But most people define winning as beating somebody. Feel better and live longer. It turns out Nobel Prize winners outlive, so there's a value to winning now. Nobel Prize winners outlive the also brilliant Nobel nominees by roughly 2 years. Baseball players who make it into the Hall of Fame have a couple of years on players who are turned away. Academy Award winners live on average 4 years longer than other actors. People who win the awards can command more for their next film. A scientist who wins a Nobel Prize will, of course, be able to be hired by any university in the world. So you're able to command more and you're living longer.
Wow.
There's this classic study that looked at athletes in the Olympics. They just looked to see how happy athletes were when they won. They looked at photographs and had unbiased people coding what the facial expressions were. Pay attention. They were stunned at what they saw. You'll see a common pattern. The gold medalist is very happy. The bronze medalist is very happy. Well, happy, not as happy as the gold medalist, of course. Right. And the silver medalists often had a sort of blank expression on their face, sort of staring out into the distance.
If you ever did stuff with medals, like I wrestled in high school, this is exactly what it is.
The bronze medalists compared themselves to everybody else.
Yep.
So they say, if I'd done a little worse, I'd be one of those folks.
Right, I beat all of them.
I made it. I'm a medalist. I beat all of them. I'm a medalist. That's how the bronze medalist thinks.
Yes,
the silver medalists, though, had thoughts that compared themselves to the gold medalists. I just missed it. That's why the silver medalists coming in third is better than coming in second for you mentally. Because mentally, you comparing yourself to the winner said, I almost had it. Damn. And there are more bronze medalists who come back to compete again than silver medalists.
Wow. That's big. That's been, and it's so crazy because I got medals all the time. You know, you get medals every tournament if you place. You know, so if you wrestle, you got a chance to get a lot of. I placed third most of the time because I wrestled, 20 pounds heavier than what I was. I placed third so many times. I felt so good. I placed second once, and I was basically mad.
Yeah.
I placed first. I placed first once, and they only had a bronze medal, and I was to this day I'm not like that. Because the medal is bronze, I won everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it plays a part in your mind. So anyway, here we go.
I remember went to this tournament at West Point Military Academy, right? I would go up there every year, compete. And so I was going up there competing in the sparring category where you could, this was pre-MMA, so you could kick, you could throw, but we had helmets on. The padded helmet, which really didn't help you because you get hit here or, you rock hard and you still get knocked out. But anyway, it helped the other person's fist, really, so they didn't break their fist. Took a student, and they bullshitted. They were tired of my ass coming there all the time winning. So they put my student and me against each other.
Oh.
So I said, well, I'm going to win the self-defense competition. That's mine. I'm going to get the gold. I know it. They know it. I'm going to get that. But this sparring competition, I'd have the gold, but you get the gold. I'm going to take the silver. And so I said, but we're going to give them a show. We are clowning, Sabuing all over the place, doing throws I would never dare do. He doing it, and it comes down to, like, we were even, and then I said, it's on you. So we standing there, I moved towards him, he's cool, stick me, boom, right? And that was the winning point. So we stand up on the thing, he got the gold, I got the silver, other person got the bronze. Even though I let him beat me. I still was like, because he seemed too happy. Goddamn happy. So my expression up there too, like, this motherfucker.
How I would have seen if you'd have let me win and get the gold. That's what you'd have been looking at me the same way.
Because he was, number one. And I'm like, really? I'm like, Jordan. So I'm like, God damn it, I shouldn't have done it. Wow. But I got the gold for the other one. You see me, with the gold on that one, proud. Even though I knew, right? I let him win. I still had that old blank face. God damn it, he too happy for winning. I should have never done the regrets there. All of that. Wow. So that's how important, how ingrained winning is to us here, at least in the States. I would say in the Western world, but definitely in the United States.
Definitely. All right. So, Olympians aren't the only ones who hate coming up short. We all do. In our minds, losing is catastrophic. We have to set goals that are in our control rather than outside our control. If you come in with a goal of defeating John Bones Jones or Clarissa Shields, that's not a very effective goal to set. If you say, I want to train 6 days a week, that's within your control. But as we all know, hard work and achievable goals don't guarantee a win. Probably the most important thing is good luck. Good luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. Those various nuggets that narrowly separate the winners from the non-winners. So, nuggets. You use this, you compare this to something else. I'm going to use martial arts nuggets. and then you can compare this to other things to get an understanding of what luck is from what that definition. So Baba made, like, all the time. Baba may be doing something where he's just grabbing your arm here and then doing this, and whatever he does, And the little stuff, because he's doing it exactly right and done it so many times, is he grabbed me perfectly right here, hit the vein right here, caught me right there in the right in the joint, and the elbow slid and caught me by the temple and brushed my eye and caused me, like, all of that stuff happens where somebody else is just learning, they just do the regular move. But nuggets happen when you train it for so long, and it happens for me, too, every now and then. But for people who, like, for Baba being a master, every time he does something regular, other things happen as a result of it. Like, I'm like, damn, why you coming right? Oh, I didn't even know I got you right there. It's just that's a nugget as far as martial arts. So you can take that and kind of.
And that would be luck. That's when preparedness, is a training, meets opportunity.
There you go.
Absolutely. Winning is overrated for sure. There's always going to be a major emphasis on winning because there's no doubt that number 2 is looked upon as mediocre, sometimes a loser. But in African communities worldwide, there is one thing we deem more important than winning: coolness.
Yes.
Is this hat cool? Are these shoes cool? Do I look cool fighting this motherfucker? Like the 75th Ranger captain said, we're obsessed with looking cool, obsessed with appearing like we belong, obsessed with not attracting the wrong attention, obsessed with looking good. Even in the movie Enter the Dragon, right before Jim Kelly's character is about to get the brakes beat off of him, he reveals our lack of awareness because of our obsession with being cool, instead of being aware and ready. Han says to him, we are ready to win, just as we are born knowing only life. It is defeat that you must learn to prepare for. To which Williams responds, I don't waste my time with it. When it comes, I won't even notice. To which Han says, oh, how so? And William says, and I'm sure we all remember this, I'll be too busy looking good.
Yeah. That's it. That's the line, right? And we love it,
right?
Because I mean,
it was
people clapping in the theater. Cool. People clapping in the theater. The next time we see Williams, he dead.
Right.
Right.
So,
now, look cool with a perfect afro.
Right, exactly. There's a difference between being cool, though, and looking cool, right? Williams was too busy looking good, right? Looking cool is about appearances. Looking cool is about trying to appear a certain way. Looking cool is about fitting in the just so-called right way to the just so-called right people, right?
Yeah, bro.
Being cool is about feeling confident and proud in your choices. And that's gained through study and training. Hold on, we lost.
No, I'm just moving. We switching over.
Okay. So being cool is about feeling confident and proud in your choices. This is gained through study and training. Being cool is when you love what you're wearing, saying, or doing, regardless of current trends. Being cool is about self-acceptance and being accepted by people you love and admire. Being cool is about having that warrior class t-shirt and other merch, because that's being cool and looking cool. All right.
There you
go. Now, I got into a fight with a brother when I was probably 15, something like that. It was in the summer, temperatures playing. Well, I was. My best friend had gotten into a fight with this dude a couple of years before over a hot dog, the last hot dog at the block party.
The last
and my friend Andy beat him down. Andy went to get it. The dude snatched it from him. Andy whipped his ass and then walked off eating the hot dog. So I was just joking about it, like, because he said something like, his mother said, come eat, Chuck. He said, I'll be down there in a minute, Ma. And she said, I made, sausage and something. I said, oh shit, you get a hot dog you ain't got to fight for or something.
Whoa, wait.
What? I done whoop your ass. What? I done whoop your ass. I said, Chucky, go on, man. You ain't gonna. I do karate now.
Oh shit.
I said, man, go ahead on, Chuck. You gonna get tore up, Chuck, fucking with me. Especially if you try to do some martial arts, right? I don't care nothing about your martial arts, boy. I'm older than you. I'm stronger than you. I do karate. I got my brown or purple belt, some shit, he said. I said, okay, let's do it. So I get in our fighting position. Rear heel raised, knees bent. I'm here. And so people started laughing. So I'm like, what the fuck they laughing about? Now Chucky's doing this. Hey.
Oh, that's how your fans look.
I'm like this, right? And they said, he fight like Pee Wee Herman. So people cracking up. I even laugh. Because, the Pee Wee Herman dance, you go do.
Right.
And you got the heel raised, got in the back.
Wow.
So I laugh. So everybody laughing. Even Chucky, they said, that's why you don't get whooped. So Chucky do kind of like a dip step. And when he does that, like that, I said, what? Smack. When his hands come in here, I smack his arms crossed and then proceed to whoop his ass. Like they ain't never seen. So after I hit him, right? He goes down. I said, I fight like you ain't never seen before. You seen Pee Wee Herman. You ain't never seen no shit like this. He trying to get up. Oh, flying knee. Get on the ground, whooping his ass, mount him. Fucked him up, right? Check it. I give up. I get up. I say, go eat, Chucky. Because, we grew up around each other. And I was just joking. I didn't want to beat Chucky. He probably already wanted to fight me because, I was a young boy. Chucky had a bad stutter. And so he'd be munga, like that. I mean, bad. Munga. And while he's doing that, I'd be like this. No watch on my arm, but I'd be like that. Right?
Chucky, and he was learning martial arts and trying to get back at you.
Probably. I thought about Andy. He's probably training to whip my ass. And right now, shout out Chucky. Chucky probably is a master of karate now.
Right.
37.
Same results.
He remembered I got on top of him, whipped his ass, so now he's doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They'll never, let me stop. They'll never mount me again. Never mount me again. Sorry, Chucky, but you know Chuck. So if Chuck is watching, or anybody from our old neighborhood, tell Chuck I said shout out, Black Power.
Okay. Come to class, Chucky.
Nah, I don't want Chucky to come to class. Chucky, goddamn, been accidentally hit me with the middle stab or something.
Chuck ain't forgot.
So
stance is important.
Stance is very important. So we're gonna deal with techniques. I'm not there due to belay setup, so I'm here. So they're gonna demonstrate everything. The first one, don't do stupid stances. We were just talking about Chucky. So don't do stupid stances. The whole, this and all of that.
Arms all.
So we're going to correct that with the proper stance. Okay. So proper stance is go down to his feet again. Your feet are about shoulder width apart. Your front foot, the toe is turned in slightly. That's to stop you from getting kicked in your groin. Straighten your front foot first, belay, pointing straight. Omaniki, go there. Y'all can see his groin is open. Omaniki, go over there and throw a kick towards his groin with his leg straight, his foot straight. Don't kick him in the groin. See, it can go there, right? Now, turn your foot in slightly. Now, go ahead. It runs into his knee.
Yeah, even if she's from that angle, I can easily just
it angles it off. So that's why we turn slightly, and the rear foot, the heel is raised. You want the heel raised to send your energy forward, not going back. when a baseball player is throwing a pitcher, is throwing the ball, throwing the baseball, they do not lean back and throw the ball. It won't have the power. It won't have the fire in it, that speed. They lean into it. So you bend, you raise your heel, so you lean, your energy goes forward towards it. Also, there's a slight bend in your waist, not a large bend, but a slight bend in your waist, right? It's not a wrestler's bend is deep. It's not that, it's slight bend. Wrestlers bend gonna eat a knee or get knocked out hitting the chin, so it's a slight bend.
Yeah, they want to be like this a little bit. Wrestlers, you want to be a little bit further.
So you're there. You can bring it up a little bit on me, nigga. Now, your rear hand, your rear fist is at your chin. It could be open hand or a fist. The front hand is about in line with your chin. It's your elbow is about a fist away from your body, right? And that's where you want to hold it at. You don't want it to be held too up because you had a knife in that hand. Somebody knocked that into your face. You get stabbed in your face. You want to have that fist aimed at that person, fist away from your body. Other hand is here. Okay. That's a basic stance.
Grab the tool real quick so you can see what he's talking about.
And that's the perspective. The reason you don't want your hands crunchy like this, you don't want to have the Mike Tyson hands like this because you got your hands crunchy. Hold that knife and it's close to your face, crunchy. If that gets slapped, they go right in his eye. Okay?
Exactly.
Don't have your hands crunchy there like that. So it's at the ready, whether you're using your fist, whether you got a knife. Okay? Elbows down, that protects your ribs. They're not out. They're now like this, ribs open. You trying to protect your face because you think that's the main place. This is what we want.
Right. The liver shot.
Solar plexus, your liver. Because your liver, you get hit in your liver, it shuts you down.
This is the
right.
This stab right here.
I go for your head, you drop your chin, you hit this. That's another thing too. Make sure your chin is dropped. Shoulders raised. So now, go for a slap to the side of his face, Ominigi. You don't have much. He just raised that chin. He ain't got to put the cover up, and so now he can raise that, and then he can raise his shoulder, throw on that your right hand. He raised his shoulder. Now throw your punch, belay, right behind that. Boom. Right. Exactly. So. That's why you want a proper stance. You can defend yourself, attack your opponent, but they're not able to hit you. Okay. And yes, I was a little obnoxious terror. You're right, exactly. So, you got it like this. My mother would tell my wife the stories of me when I was little. She's like, oh my God. Ooh, boy, I'm glad you changed. I really haven't changed. I just tempered myself.
People don't change, they temper themselves.
Right, I tempered myself,
I just want to say
I care about folks.
The stances, I always tell you, this is like one of the most important things because I've been in a lot of different art forms. And this stance is the most efficient with the tools, with having a partner, with protecting yourself from basically every threat. This stance is going to help you with that. Keeping this stance in the middle, you get into something and not losing you training so much that you stay in this form, you getting into something, you stay in that leverage that you get from it. It's just, it's so many nuggets. Like Bob was saying, you get nuggets from being in this position that you're not going to get when you upright, when you like this and all this. It's just all the nuggets, protection, striking. It's just right there.
Glad you tried the Ruzui Manifesto. Now you said you want to incorporate some 52 arm movements with that stance. Yeah. So my brother Wise, they actually have their heel raised.
Right. They still raise their heel.
Right. They raise their heel and they do,
whatever they do, they still
rob the bank and
you can do all that from. You can still do that.
All of it from there.
You can still do all.
We did a workshop together, and it wasn't really that much
No,
the footwork was the same. That's skull and bones, yeah.
Right.
Skull and bones, right? Skull and bones.
You can do 52
closed
from
door, open door.
Yeah, both.
All those things can be done. Any of that can be done from there with knives, sticks, what have you, right? Boxers do a similar stance. They don't bend at the waist, though, I don't think. But
and I wanted to speak on that real quick, Bob. A lot of us, especially left-handed people, we tend to want to do this.
Oh, yeah, that. Your shoulders should be square, too.
Instead of this. Instead of facing somebody, we tend to want to be sideways. That's one of the things we want to do. We want to be like this, sideways.
Also, you want to, boxing has influenced us where we have our non-dominant foot forward. You want to have your dominant foot forward. You want to meet a person with your more coordinated, dominant, more powerful side.
Right. And when he said meet them,
jabs are more devastating. They're not just an annoyance. And then your non-dominant hand, which is usually weaker, it has the benefit of traveling a further distance.
And when he's saying meet it, you just meet them with your dominant side. That's just the side you want leading. That don't mean lead like this. Again, right. This is a dangerous stance, and you don't realize it until it's too late. If you get in an encounter with a tool, heaven forbid that never happens, but you don't want to get stabbed sideways like this. Right. You don't want to get if you ever get something happen, you don't want, but to get shot this way versus this way and give something a bullet a chance to go through all of this and hit 3-4 organs or 2-3 organs versus having less of a chance.
So you get shot in your left side with a 22. We'll say it's 9mm. You get shot in the left side. Now the heart, if you don't know, is in the center. It leans left, but you get shot in the left side. Boom. Oh, that may be, it could kill you, but that it may collapse a lung, right? You get shot from the side, left side over here, that's hitting this lung, your heart, and your other lung. You're in a much worse state and way more likely to die, right? You get punched here, it can break your ribs and send it into your lungs. So we're here. You get punched here, it's your muscle hurting. You say, God damn it, bastard, hit me in my muscle, I got a bruise.
Right.
He punches you here, unless either you're very, very brittle or he's extremely strong, he's not breaking your sternum. Now, I cracked the dude's sternum, but it was not with a punch. I got a hard punch, but usually not hard enough to break his sternum. I broke his sternum with my elbow. Okay. But elbow that would have to hit to the center. If it hits to either side, which is an easier target to hit, it's just going to bruise you bad. If I hit you with an elbow to the side of your body, it's breaking ribs at best.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let me just say this too. Oh,
stance is important. Go ahead.
I just want to say when we talking about being cool, we talking about people making up their own little thing to their stance and all that. But the mentality, I want you to remember that too. The mentality is, it look cool if I get to a fight. Now, that might look real great if I could kick somebody in the face in a fight, but that's not practical. Right. Also, what's not practical is seeing, I had to learn this later on. Recently, I see Baba doing some movement, and I want to do that. I want to flow like that. When somebody punch, I want to catch it here. I want to pop, pop, pop. I want to do just like that. But my arms are longer than Baba. My legs are longer. My head might be bigger. I do different things. I'm going to move different. I feel different than he moved. I shouldn't be. There's no way that I would be doing unless I'm his twin. You know what I'm saying? And even then, so
the personality may be different.
Exactly, and that's and you express yourself differently, and that's the thing that if you fight that, you fighting against your own self-protection, your own self-defense. If you fight that, that's why in African martial art, if something comes out a certain way, well, that's meant for you. We start realizing, okay, this is meant for you. Let's work on how we get that to work for you. And I just want to throw that out there because that's important.
Next is don't stick your face forward like a dummy.
Oh man, you see that in boxing all the time. That they take it too long to punch.
Ridiculous. First of all, definitely not combative. You stick your face forward, I slit your throat.
And
so you thinking I'm gonna go for a punch and you can just back up and be real smart. I see you doing that. You're giving me your neck. I don't care about what your head's doing right here. It's your neck. I'm gonna slit your throat. So
it also show your mind on the same plane.
Right. So that's one thing. The way to fix that is use head movement. So now take slight head movements to the side. Don't do it in a normal pattern, in a pattern that I can time. That's what you want to do with your head. So now it's hard to hit that target, but you ain't bringing it towards me. It's also hard to hit your neck.
Right. I'm side to side. I'm not going forward.
Right.
I'm circling a little bit.
Dipping his legs a little bit, changing levels. So that's what you want to be able to do. Okay. Not or really stick that fork go like this here, and you so sure. I had a friend do that to me one time. He used to do it to people all the time. Then he did it to me. But we were slap boxing, tore his ass up. We were really fighting. I'd have broke his jaw.
Bobby used to play that game. You remember that game at the field where the groundhog stick his head through there and you hit him with the little thing on there?
Yeah.
He was real good at that. So you stick this like that, bow, you have a real whack-a-mole.
Yeah, whack-a-mole. Stick your head up out that thing and see what happens. Now, and that's what you're doing. This is your hole. And you stick your head out and bow. Don't be surprised you get hit with the mallet.
These are the things that we definitely need to tell young people, because teenagers or even younger than that, because when we get older, we tend to not play as much because we realize what's at stake. So even though you may be saying, well, also, the more trained you is, you tend to not do stuff like that because you know better. But I guess I'm associating ignorance with youth, which is not always the case. But it's definitely prevalent with the youth. So this is definitely something you would want to tell your son that you may think would never get in a fight or whatever. But then, you next thing you know, is a playground. He's out there doing all this crazy stuff and he don't know what to do. So this is good advice, definitely. I just wanted to put it out
there. Third, don't head hunt.
Oh my goodness.
So, head hunt. Ominigi. Throw with your fist, but slightly, just throw a punch at Belay's nose, and Belay, without blocking it, just bring your head down. Throw it at his nose. He just dropped his chin and ran to his fist. Her little knuckles will lose that encounter with his head. He may have a doohickey on his head, but she got broken knuckles. This happened to me in real life. Dude punching and broke his hand and stupid enough to punch with the other one. He broke that hand. He went to the hospital. I didn't. I just put ice on my head. Next, go ahead and punch him in the eye. We'll open your finger and do a poke to the eye. It's not the easiest thing. Belay, just turn your head to the side, which people are going to do or move back.
Okay.
Poke towards his eye. Now her fingertips running to the side of his head, they're going to break. Right. If a person, she pokes and he goes backwards, she can come forward and poke again. That's not the wise thing. Just turn your head and keep your chin ducked. Yeah. But the thing is, most people who try to, people teach, poke him in his eye. Number one, you want to feed him palm sandwiches. You ain't aiming at his eye, may touch his eye. But you aim at his eye. You know how accurate you got to be. You know how small a person's eyes are. You know got big eyes. It's not likely you're going to hit the eye. Number one. unless you train it a lot. And who the hell's letting you train on their eye?
Exactly.
And if they are stupid enough to do that, they only got 2 times when you train on that eye.
And I'm trained to slip that punch. So if I don't,
now we tried to train using goggles. We tried to be smart. You know, a friend of mine, he said, you know, give me a training method for my Bill G. My Bill G. Now, Bill G, not a dude named Bill G, like Bill Gibbons or something. It's Bill G. It's in Wing Chun, they throw fingertips. Now, my boy Phil Glapion, one of the #1 components in proponents of Wing Chun in the world. He couldn't get that off. I said, well, let's try goggles. So that's a good idea. I thought, and he thought, until we tried it. Thank God I tried him first, because he's stronger than me. A little short, we call him Tasmanian Devil. Short dude, big sausage finger hands. I went first. Cracked the goddamn plastic lens of the goggles.
That might have been worse than just getting hit with the finger.
I said, I'm glad you didn't do it, because he's so strong, he would have cracked it, it'd have went in my eye. At least, or the plastic shards would have,
right?
If not his fingers, or both. I said, man, hell no, that don't work. So it's hard to train the eye. Strike to the eye. That's really hard.
One thing I want to throw.
You don't go for that, right? The best thing to throw at is the neck, ear, and the liver. The neck.
You can palm all that.
You can lion's mouth it. You can punch it. Punch at his neck, side of his neck, front of his neck. It can be the side. You ain't got to turn your hand up right. You can hook it. Lion's mouth, uppercut, lion's mouth. Lion's mouth. Yep. So that's not hard to get to. You can train that by hitting the chest. So lion's mouth, tap his chest right below his throat. Let me hear it. We don't hear that. There we go. So you can work that. Okay. The neck, you can work. The ear, not so much unless you got pads, and Belay tell you that's still not comfortable.
Not if you got Baba doing it.
But put the pads on, and only need you do the pads. So in this instance, punch him to the ear, not palm. You can slap to the ear for sure. That's better actually. But you may punch to the ear. Right. So you can work that. Or work the palm. Now work the palm. Yes. Go ahead. Yes. You can slap him in his ear. Yeah. See, so you can work that. That's better, right?
I want to throw something in.
Injuring your hand. And now
I want to throw something in there one real quick too. When we talk about hand movement, what you don't want to do is what you see boxers do. You gotta remember that's a sport. So what you see boxers do, and especially when they get headhunted, they'll be moving back for a minute. They'll move back like this, and then they'll.
Right. You don't want to do that, bob and weave, because you're gonna eat.
You're gonna eat. Do not bend down. You lower yourself. You don't bend down. You don't do that.
Lower your knees, not your back. The liver. Now to train the liver, get 2 pads and put them at your liver, Belay. So it's like front and towards the side there. Put them on top of each other. You want one on top of the other, not over it, like together.
I got you. Like
that. Like put up one on top. No, like this.
Oh, okay. I got you. Boom, boom,
That's
boom.
powerful.
Like that.
And she should punch that not into your body, but so now Turn your hand more up like that.
More up, like, let me see your hand.
Turn it more towards her like that. Yes. Now punch. That's at the liver. Uppercut. Yeah, that's called a shovel punch into the liver. Yes.
Good. That's a good shot. Whew.
You can throw an elbow up into it. Upward elbow. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now take the pad off.
Oh no.
No, I ain't gonna back you up. They may not have pads.
Give up.
So what you do, you cannot throw a hard punch to train to know how to hit the liver if you don't have pads. Okay. So now you can put your
cup your hand
there, or just tap the liver. Tap the liver. You can move your hand. Just tap, not tap. Like that. A little bit more than that. Tap it. Yeah, be loose with it. Tap. Yep, like that. Tap.
She's scared that high waist bone gonna catch her fist.
Well, at least you know go above that high waist bone. Bah. And it's on the right side.
Now see, that was good for her. She realized for her height, she didn't have to throw a hook. She could throw it straight and just lower her body a little bit.
Right.
And that was unexpected too. And it was a cross. Nice.
So you can train hitting the liver like that too, okay? Just be very careful because the liver will drop you.
Yes, it will.
You can get a pillow too, right, Baba?
Yeah, you can do a pillow. It ain't gonna do you much good in the liver because pillow make them want to punch you harder.
Yeah, that's gonna make you push harder.
Now, what you can do, now you can't because nowadays they don't have phone books no more. I would say you can bungee cord or tape a phone book right there. I would say don't do that for me because you still gonna suffer that liver shot. But for a lot of people, just learning the shot, put that phone book or
we need a
couple Tariq Nasheed's books.
You Negroes improvise. You know how to improvise,
right? Bibles out there.
Or they could take a what you call it, the pillowcase, fill that mug with foam and
take one of them old purses. Take one of them old purses and stuff it with some t-shirts. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be good. Leather.
Yeah.
Tape it to yourself. Boom.
Yeah, and then you can just put the purse on sideways, cross sideways like that.
No, that mug gonna get knocked out of place. You gonna get hit your liver for real.
Don't listen to me all the way. Just listen to me somewhat.
And the final one, bleeding doesn't equal losing.
Oh no.
Bleeding does not equal losing. So, because we think that person leave in the fight, they know it's bloody. He got his ass whooped. You wonder why the other dude moving slower. He got his pancreas ruptured. His spleen, got tore up. He got stabbed in the kidney when people didn't see it.
Right. And it's also for you to, if you see your own blood, don't freak.
Right, that don't mean you losing.
That don't mean nothing. Especially most of the time you see your blood, you ain't feeling nothing, so ain't nothing happened yet till it's over with. Keep moving.
Right, go for it. And yes, Manifesto, you can use towels to block your liver. Best use a couple of beach towels or something like that, drying towel. I would advise it. Put one balled up towel inside of another one, tied it around you.
Right. And look, really swallow the ego, man, because think about it. I know at one point, I would have rather hit you in your eye so people could see it versus hit you in your lip.
And that's it. So everything can't be performative. Most stuff shouldn't be. Your fighting is performative. It's not effective. You give a good show, and that's that looking cool. Man, I bloodied him up. You watch MMA fighters, they be bloody, right? Most of them, both of them bloody. They go away after they go have an interview 10 minutes, 30 minutes later, that's been wiped off.
Right.
But the ones who get their arm broken, they ain't doing the interview after.
Right.
The one with the broken rib, no interviews for them.
Right.
See? So that's different.
If we do it, he's in extreme discomfort. The other person just talking with a little cut right here, but his whole face was all blood. In the fifth. Now he's just talking regular.
The other one may have won, but got his rib broke. He said, "Yeah, it was a good fight. All right, guys, I gotta go and go to the hospital."
Right.
That's the most you're getting out of them. That's when you know they hurt inside. You're like, well, ain't nothing going on with him. He's been an asshole, not talking. That dude was effed up. Okay.
Oh, man.
I have to admit, it's a little disconcerting to realize there are so many ways a person can get jacked up quick. But the beauty of it, Iyapo, is you can jack up your opponents quick, but there are also simple ways to defend those places that can be jacked up.
Exactly.
So
that's what
you drop your elbow, your liver's protected. Just drop, just turn a little bit to protect it. Drop, turn a little bit, protect that, okay?
If you train to hold his stance, it will be a reflex of yours to get in it when something happens, and it will help you. Just like learning to fall and roll properly, it'll come into effect when you don't have to think about it. It'll come into effect.
And work with somebody. Y'all just slapping at each other's head, body. So you're learning to move with it. That's called a low cover. You low cover, high cover, low cover, high cover, cover. And so you're practicing that. Do those things. So they become light, loose, and instinctive. Okay.
And there are some of us, I've noticed some of the people who are in the chat are in the same city. Maybe you don't have someone to train with, but maybe it's time for us to start making connections with people who we're in the same city with. Because if this is important to them and this is important to you, y'all can, have common ground and start training together. Start training some of these things.
I really want us to start traveling, and we'll give it time and comfort for everybody. Like in the fall.
Yeah.
Starting in September, after I'm going to Chicago early September. When I get back, I want to really hit a city, and maybe we can hit Chicago. Would be a good city. It's my hometown. A lot of people,
if you listen to Dennis Lacewell,
and a lot of people want us to come there. So Chicago would be good. And I could easily get a venue there. We could do it at Shango Dare's school.
Yes, we can, Dennis Lacewell.
Yes, Dennis Lacewell. I don't know you, Dennis Lacewell, but B.A. does.
Yes, right? I do. Yes, sir. He's dean of the number one. I don't want to say it wrong, but as prep school in America is in Chicago, and he runs it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We went to school together. We spoke about some things, Mr. Dennis Lacewell.
Okay.
We'll be looking out for you very soon.
Yeah, Bob.
So, is Baba Balogun doing in-person training in Atlanta? Yes, I am in Yama. Yes. Every Sunday and Monday.
I just want to say two things. One thing real quick too before we go is that recognize the being cool part is all ego, right? Recognize when you are in that mode, when you thinking like that, when you're not being practical, when you're like, I'm gonna slap the shit out of this motherfucker right here. That my mind is made up. That might not be the most practical movement to do at the time, but your mind is made up. Well, pray for your mind to be open. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was asked years ago, some brothers from the nation, they offered a Quran to a famous basketball player from the same, one of the, if not the most famous basketball player from the same place that Bilay's from. They offered him a Quran. He said, "Get that shit out of my face." Slapped it out their hand to the ground.
Sound like it.
And they said, if that was you, you'd have whooped his ass, wouldn't you? I said, no. At that place, bodyguards and shit would have swarmed me. I'd have fell down.
Right.
Thinking, oh, I broke my arm and got paid.
There you go.
Not sitting up there trying, and I could whoop his ass, but his bodyguards would have swarmed me.
Yeah, they got weapons.
Matter of fact, Baba, speaking of which, remember what I always told you? I always said I'm gonna meet Michael Jordan just so I can slap the shit out of him.
I wasn't gonna say his name, but you know.
I'm sorry. I did, but that was when I first met Baba. After a while, I realized that's not the most smart thing to do, you know. Like that don't make sense.
With him, like you know,
and what about getting accomplished?
Some of these celebrities, you know, and that's why I said one time, you know, I want to whoop so and so's ass. This rapper bullshitting. I know this mug. Talking about how he, you know, selling weight, and you ain't doing none of that. But me slapping him wasn't gonna do except get me locked up.
Exactly.
I get
no ain't gonna change his direction.
Right. Then he'll use that in the rap.
Exactly.
Talk about karate, insult me too. Karate master came to me and tried to throw them hands. He in prison. I'm making them bands.
I'm mad. I'm like, yo, Jordan ain't doing enough for my hometown, so I attack him. He like, see, that's why I don't help these wild niggas. Look at him.
Right. Exactly.
Anyway.
Yapa asked me, what would you consider if you could only pick one body part you would protect at all costs in a hand-to-hand fight? If I could only pick one, that means I ain't trained by me. But if that was the case, a body part, if I could only pick one, would be my goddamn head. My brain is in here. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
You would protect at all costs in a hand-to-hand fight. So protecting at all costs is standing properly, having my chin tucked, using
chin tuck is big for falling.
Using the forehead to take blows, not my eyes, nose, but definitely you don't want anything to hit the back of your head. That's where you're vulnerable.
Yeah, bro.
Back here. Here.
Giving up your back.
Yeah, you give up your back. You give an opponent your back, you become an ancestor. So I mean, that's more than just your damn cerebellum is here, medulla oblongata, goddamn your spine is here, liver. I mean, your kidneys are here, but those are the only things that's vulnerable in your back. The back is a bunch of muscle, and it's thick, and it could take a lot of pressure. So you only got your kidneys, but there are chokes that can come from behind. You're vulnerable now. But in the front, you can protect all this. That's what it's telling you. You can protect all of this. It doesn't matter. You protect it like this. Some white folks be protecting like this. You know, trying to steal what we do, and they didn't try to make it their own. I don't know what the hell all that is, but it still protects your face. It still protects your head. Although right here, your head on this side is vulnerable.
You can cross yourself
on this side,
right? Yeah,
so keep doing it. But they do that. I don't know why, but hey,
genius.
It's better than not doing nothing to protect your head. So it'll be my head, Iapo, but I almost can't even think that way because shit, you protecting your head at all costs. Now this is open. You protect this at all costs. Now this is open.
Yeah, we don't think like that.
So we don't think that way. Because a person want to open all that shit up, could just attack your knees. So you may be ready to move with footwork, slight movement, so your legs out of the way. So you got to be ready to protect yourself, period. But it all comes down to footwork. Footwork drives all.
Thank you, Bob. And so I just want to say it all comes down to footwork. I wanted to say this too. We talked about working out earlier. We need weights and all that. I want you to remember, and this is true, but I want you to remember, as you start to get older, the main thing is mobility. That's what we all are striving to keep and to improve our mobility. So think about that while you're working out, and you just don't want to be too whatever.
While you live, make sure you also work your legs. Squat is beautiful because you want to have the explosiveness. You want to be able to, move.
And they tell you, even health, they tell you, physician, 25 squats. If you don't do it, just 25 squats in the morning will transform you if you ain't doing anything.
Now you said watch the dead arm too. Have you put in the open no preparation? I don't understand that one, Ngonyama. We don't really have a dead arm, so it's not just like this. That's just showing the position. We're moving our arms elliptically. We're here. We're moving our arms elliptically because an object at rest tends to stay at rest, except acted upon by a stronger force. So we're not just here. It's just dead arms. It's here because it's an object in motion. But we also have movement. We're in motion.
Dude talking to
slight movements forward, slight movements to the side. We don't move backwards. Okay. So those things keep us moving because an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Okay. Dead arm, punch the shoulder. Punch the shoulder and numb the arm. No more defense. Yeah, so in boxing that works. You got time to be punching his arm.
Yeah.
In a violent encounter on the street, on the battlefield, you don't have time to punch his arm to numb it.
What you can do is what we showed you last episode is you attack with the double covers that arm.
Right. You can kill that arm. We call that killing it. You attack that nerve in the arm, and then it drops as opposed to it's not dead forever. Once that drops, now here we go.
Exactly.
Right. Now here comes the attack. Now, when I used to compete, boom, you hit in the shoulder, you hit in here to numb the arm, right? It starts to drop, it gets heavy, and now you're working them in jive. But most of the time, I give them boom, that one shot, that's to scare them. And then that opens up throws. So I'm moving quick, the way you train, the way you fight, right? So then boom, I'm throwing them, elbows, until the referee stops it. Okay. If I'm in a violent encounter out there, scenario pretty much goes the same. Boom, catch one to the throat. I'm coming at him. Boom, taking him down or bending him. Boom to knees. He falls on his own or I throw him. And then I'm on him, knee on belly or mount him. And he's getting pounded out either with knees, bang, bang, bang. Elbows, I grab that head with a collar tie, elbow or punch or both, combination thereof, depends on what my body's telling me, how I'm feeling. Okay. Defang that arm with them double bows. Yes.
There you go.
That's a great way. Or with your flashlight, your pocket sharp, a knife if you're carrying.
There are no rules, so get that the notion of dirty fighting out of your mind.
Yeah, I don't even like when Filipino martial arts say dirty boxing.
Yeah, get that out your mind.
Ain't dirty. Ain't dirty. You surviving. Ain't no dirty.
If I lose, you did me dirty.
Right.
Trust me, that's how I be feeling. I don't care what you did. I lost. Oh, you did me dirty.
And ain't no doing bad. If I lose, I'm down bad. That's it.
I need to hear from the bullshitting guy. Were you entertaining? We gave you the subject. Where you with at? You sitting back in the popcorn and you loving it? Say something.
He back. Either he loving it or he back at the headquarters.
Oh, he went back to headquarters that day.
It didn't work. It didn't work. Send agent X123 instead of 122. 122 didn't work. So
we appreciate you. Next time, try again.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Shout out to the agents of the state. You do your work. And it's our job to do our work. That's all.
There you go.
Hopefully
shout out to you. May you have a peaceful day. And so anyway, so no fair ones, heads up. Well, yeah, there are heads up fights for my daughter Okikiola, she's 4 months old. So she get into a fight when she's able to fight, when she, 6 months, 8 months, knowing her not, because she be punching the hell out of me. That's a head up fight. You know, two children fight head up, and not making mockery serious about that. Two children fight head up. You expect that. An adult never expect a head up fight, even if they say it's going to be a fair fight. Head up. What the hell is a fair fight? People ask me, you know, fair fight. I'm pulling their hair. I'm doing all kinds of jobs. I'm going to end on this. We went to the Malcolm X Grassroots Festival years ago. Put up a sign. Because I got tired of mugs performing. I'm a martial art master and all this, and they talking all this shit. Put a sign up and said, we're taking on all comers. The African Martial Arts Institute. Only time I did this because it made me more enemies than friends. People hate getting their ass whipped and embarrassed.
Especially at a public gathering.
Right. But they shouldn't have stepped their ass into the arena. Because they thought we were playing. We weren't playing. So this one dude says he's a wrestling champion at his college. I'm with you. He said something to me like, you know, I'm not into beating my elders up. Ooh. I said, oh, baby, please, just think of me as one of your frat bros. Let's do this. He said, all right. So he had locks. Why are you getting in there with me? Locks, that's a powerful statement to have locks while you wrestle. You refuse to cut them. That's a powerful statement. I'm with you, but don't get your ass in there with no real combatant, because if it's there, use it. So he comes in for a double leg. He set it up nice. I forget what he did. Came with a double leg. I grabbed his hair, boom, threw him. Knee on body. He's trying to get out. I'm just pinning his hair to the ground. Boom, 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 boom. Next. He was all distraught. He stuck around for everybody else I was fighting. My students, let me get in and get some. Let them whoop a couple ass on some cats. Then I'm right back to it. Only like 6 people got up there and did it. You know, well-known martial artists in Atlanta, they standing there like this. And I look, anybody else? They didn't get their ass up in there. I was proving the point. There's a separation between men and boys. And I mean what I said. And I said that there's a separation between the men and the boys. And we're going to show that today. Should I have done it? No, because people resented me for that. I beat some of their top students. I would have beat them. They got their ass in there, right? Or they'd have beat me. I'm willing for that to happen. I'm not indestructible, and I'm not the baddest mug on the planet. I'm just good at what I do, right? And I wanted to prove that. And somewhere along the line, I thought that was going to bring, you know, more students and stuff like that. It did not. It did not. I probably was drinking when I came up with the goddamn idea, right? And my students didn't say, hey, Baba, that may not be a good idea. They with it too. So we in the mix, right? Crazy. You know, if I was young, I would never do that now. I was about 42 when I did that shit, you know, 13 years ago. Now, no, I wouldn't do that now, and I wouldn't allow students to do that because it causes enmity. I'm not trying to have enmity with people. I'm trying to unite with my people. Martial arts, you know. So wrestlers got big heads. Yes, because all professional athletes do. He was a college athlete, but you know, high level athletes, they all got big heads like that. That goes part, especially combat sports, because that's part of the course. Because they can't never think somebody gonna beat them. So they got those big heads, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you do need your ego at the same time. You just got to know how to control it.
And you got to know what makes damn sense.
Right.
First of all, if you walk into a place and a person puts a sign up saying taking all comers, you probably want to observe that motherfucker first.
Before you say anything.
Right, because either he crazy or he knows something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I was willing to get, and me, I'm like, if somebody beats me, I told the student, somebody beats me, cool, get that, don't let him leave, get his information, because I'm training with him.
Right.
That, I'm serious about it. God damn it, okay, you may beat me. As long as it ain't for life and death, but we ain't training together. But you beat me in a competition, I have to learn from you. If you don't teach me, you're an asshole. Okay, well, fine, I won't. But I'm going to approach you about learning from you, because that's the way I was taught. That's the way I was taught. If I beat a person, and I have beaten friends of mine, right? They come to me, man, let's get together. And they train with me after that. No love lost. I love them. But I got business to take care of right now. We're going to throw down. All right, y'all. Thank you all for hanging with us. We started late. That was my fault. Like I said, I'm sitting there creating our website for Warrior Class, and my wife's telling me it's 109. Say, I know, baby, babe, I do this. It's we started at 2. She's like, okay. I look, oh shit, 1 o'clock. And I ran the, because even when they hit me up, we need the link to sign in. I'm like, why did they hit me so early?
Amaniki don't do that. You should have known.
I should have known. I said, like, oh shit, I must be behind.
Whatever.
It's funny. Ominiki hits us up. She said, Baba, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna make it in time. I'm gonna be late today. And I tell B, like, why she hit me up? Of course she's gonna be late today. Why is she hitting me, telling me what we already know?
He travels quite a long while.
No, we appreciate Ominiki letting us know.
That's why we tease her like that.
We appreciate that. I wish they would do that in the martial art class. Students just come late and say, I'm going to take them push-ups. Just call me and say, I'm going to be late. You still going to get the push-up. And then people say, well, damn, I ain't calling there. You still get the push-ups. But, hey, at least I know you're coming. Nah, they'll usually call I can Bobala. That's, don't call me. That's not my role no more to take those calls. All right, y'all.
We appreciate y'all.
Love y'all. We're going to go to the ATL and train with Baba tomorrow. Hey, dope. I always felt my locks when I had them were a liability. They can be. So I always tell students and we go get off here, but I always tell students, put cowrie shells in your lock. Because when people grab that, that's like grabbing glass. Okay. So if you're going to have locks, protect them. I had one student say you're going to put razor blades in there. I said, dude, do not put razor blades. And your woman said, I'm glad to see you there. She's, just a bloody mess. Your mama, come here, boy. You don't want to do that to mama and your woman or your man. So, but cowrie shells, they say that's cute. They'll see the cowrie shells. Okay. All right.
We'll put information about the shirts on the website or on Black Power Media. You'll see something about them or on our IG. So just look to that.
Yeah. So we're gonna post on Instagram on Warrior Class. I'll put it on my Instagram, Facebook, everything about the website and the t-shirts and everything. So y'all can get them. You can send me a picture of the t-shirt, something like that.
Yeah.
To use. All right. I need calories for these white women. Hey, I ain't got no solution for you with the white women. I ain't got no solution other than tell you, stay away from the snow bunnies, as Dr. Umar Johnson called them. Stay away from them snow bunnies, as much as you can. I know some of us just can't stay away. Stay away from the snow bunnies. Get you a sister, soul sister. All right. Next word class with Ngon Yama. That'd be dope. If you were in town, Ngon Yama and film with us, that'd be dope. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Stay black, whatever it is that you may be. Thank you, Ominiki, and thank you, Bile. It was a great class, and we'll be seeing you all next week. Stay black and you be peace.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
Good. We're pretty good.